What if your smart home could actually be, well, simple? I mean, not just something you can manage, but truly, genuinely, effortlessly simple. It sounds a little too good to be true, right? But today, we're going to dive into how that dream is finally becoming a reality. But hey, before we get to that dream scenario, let's talk about where most of us are right now. Let's be real for a second. Is your smart home actually living up to the name? Or are you constantly jumping between a dozen different apps just to turn on the lights and close the blinds? I bet we've all been there. That before picture on the left, yeah, that probably looks pretty familiar. It's that chaotic mess of apps cluttering up your phone. You've got one app for your lights, another for your thermostat. It's a mess. But look at the after picture. That's the future. One clean, simple system to control everything. It means you can finally buy the brands you actually want, mix and match them, and have them all just work together. So what's the magic wand that makes this all happen? How do we go from total chaos to total simplicity? Well, it's a new standard, and it's called Matter. You can think of it as the one universal language for your entire smart home. So what exactly is Matter? Okay, at its heart, it's a single open source standard. Its entire reason for being is to make every single smart device, no matter who made it, play nicely together, seamlessly, no exceptions. And this quote just nails it. Matter is the universal translator for your home. Suddenly, there are no more language barriers between any of your gadgets. And listen, this is not some small niche idea. Just look at the names behind this thing. We're talking about the absolute heavyweights of the tech world. Apple, Google, Amazon, plus hundreds of other huge companies. They all got together and said, okay, let's fix this and make sure all our devices can finally talk to each other without any issues. And what came out of that is basically a master key for your home. It doesn't matter if you're an Apple person, a Google person, or an Amazon person. This key unlocks everything. And for you, that means freedom, real freedom. No more being locked into one brand or worrying about picking the right team. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. How does Matter actually fix all those headaches and create that seamless experience we've been promised for years? Well, its power really comes down to four fundamental pillars. First up, and this is the big one, interoperability. It's a fancy word, but it just means different brands can finally talk to each other. So you could ask your Google Assistant to turn on the lights, and someone else in your family could tell Siri to close the blinds, and it all just works together in one system. Second is simplicity, and I mean radical simplicity. We're talking about a setup process that's so easy it's almost funny. It completely gets rid of all those complicated instructions and confusing menus. Third, and this is so important, is reliability. Your smart home is no longer a hostage to your internet connection. Even if your Wi-Fi decides to take a vacation, your home keeps on working. And last but not least, security. Matter was built from the very beginning with a huge focus on keeping your home's data private and totally secure. So let's circle back to that simplicity promise for a sec. The setup is honestly this easy. Step 1, you plug your new gadget in. Step 2, you open up whatever smart home app you like and just scan the QR code on the device. Step 3, well, there is no step 3. You're done. Connection complete. No more digging through drawers for that ridiculously long Wi-Fi password. It just works. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. It's the big question, right? This all sounds amazing, but what happens when my internet goes out? Is my entire smart home just dead in the water? It's a totally fair question, but with Matter, it's not something you have to worry about anymore. And this is one of its absolute best features. All the commands run on your local home network, not through the internet. So if your internet connection drops, no problem. Your devices still listen and they still respond instantly. In fact, because the signal isn't going to some server halfway across the country and back, the response is even faster. We're talking basically zero delay. All right, so that's the theory. We've talked about what Matter is and how it works. Now let's see how this actually looks in the real world with some of the products you might have in your own home. Let's start with something like smart curtains. With Matter, you can totally change your morning routine. Instead of that horrible buzzing alarm, imagine your curtains just slowly opening on their own, letting the morning sunlight wake you up naturally. And of course, it doesn't matter who you ask. You could say, "Hey Siri, open the curtains," and they'd open instantly, even if you first set them up with your Google Home. Or how about smart lighting? This slide really shows the beautiful simplicity of Matter. You can take one of our smart lights and pair it with a Matter-enabled switch from a totally different company. And the result?
perfect, seamless coordination. The brand names just don't matter anymore.
And finally, let's think about a smart switch. In a home powered by Matter, a switch becomes way more than just a switch. It becomes the conductor of your entire smart home orchestra. You can program it to control devices from literally any brand that supports Matter. So you could hit one switch by your front door, and yeah, the living room lights come on, but maybe a fan from another company in your bedroom also kicks on at the same time. That is true home automation.
So when you decide to go with products that are built on Matter, you're not just fixing the app chaos you have today. You're actually making a really smart investment in the future of your home. An investment in simplicity, reliability, and most importantly, freedom of choice. So from now on, when you're out shopping for new smart home gear, just keep an eye out for this Matter logo. Think of it like a seal of approval. It's your guarantee that whatever you're buying is going to work perfectly with what you already have today and for years to come. The big takeaway here is this: one standard to unite them all. With Matter, you can finally build a home that actually gets you, one that adapts to your life instead of forcing you to adapt to its quirks. This is the promise of the smart home, finally delivered. And the best part is, this isn't some science fiction dream anymore. This is real, and it's here today. So the only question left is, are you ready for a home that finally, actually works for you?